If you guys are interested in being a member, then click the join button down below to check out the available perks. The first tier is only $1. Thank you to those of you who choose to join. What's up, my squad? Welcome to another Division 2 build breakdown video. Before we get into the video, if you're already subscribed to me, then don't forget to smash that like button, as it really helps push our videos into the recommended section, which in turn helps the channel grow. Interaction is a big part of what helps us in the YouTube algorithm, and the extra support is very much appreciated. In today's video, I'll showcase my new TU16 Umbra initiative build for solo PVE. This is a great gear set that brings both DPS and survivability to the table, so automatically this is going to be highly favoured by the community, and I can honestly say this gear set doesn't disappoint. The new Umbra initiative gear set is a gear set with a focus on moving in and out of cover, playing to the intended design of the Division 2, that being a cover based shooter. One thing I really like about this gear set is it is great for the extremes when it comes to RPM. Faster RPM weapons like the Dark Winter, the Vector, the Chameleon or the Chatterbox are utterly nuts with this gear set. Super slow RPM weapons like the Pestilence, M60, AK or the T821 are actually made more viable and effective because of this gear set. So although this isn't going to be as powerful as Heartbreaker, Strikers or Hunter's Fury, it definitely will have its place in the game. Now looking over the Umbra initiative gear set, the 2-piece gives us 15% critical hit chance, the 3-piece gives us 30% reload speed, the 4-piece we have From Shadows into the Light, while in cover gain 10 stacks per second up to 50. Each stack will give 1% crit damage increase and 0.3% RPM. Buffs do not apply while shooting from cover. While out of cover, agents lose 2 stacks per second at normal speed and 1 stack per second if sprinting. While out of cover and in combat, gain 10 stacks per second up to 50. Each stack will give 0.8% armor regen when it is consumed. Stats consume 10 stacks per second only in cover. Now if you choose to use the chest piece, you gain From the Shadows, which increases max stacks from 50 to 100 and stats gain from 10 to 20. Using the backpack gives you Into the Light, which increases max stacks from 50 to 100, stats gain from 10 to 20 and stack consumption from 10 to 20 as well. So as I mentioned earlier, this is a set built around the intended Division 2 playstyle, that being a cover based shooter. The Umbra initiative gear set can be used to run and gun, but in my opinion, you'd be better off using it as more of a long distance DPS build, like the build in today's video. You can pretty much spec into all reds, sit at a distance and rely on the armor regen for survivability. So if you're one to play from cover and play slow, this is the gear set for you. Another thing I like about this gear set is its 2 and 3 piece. The 15% crit chance helps with the lack of crit chance on weapons like ARs and LMGs, and the 30% reload speed along with the 4 piece makes this a very good build for LMGs. This is a pretty basic and easy build to make, and it offers an insane amount of damage and a decent amount of survivability. I personally like the new TU16 Umbra initiative gear set, but will openly admit it's not as strong as Heartbreaker, Hunter's Fury or Strikers. Let me know your opinions in the comment section below and I'll reply like I always do. Now we spoke a little bit about the build and I've showcased some of what it's capable of, let's get into a quick build breakdown. Right guys, starting off with the specialization, and we are using the gunner. Reason being is it synergizes so well with the rest of our build. This specialization offers DPS, survivability and utility. As you can see, we get the right foam grenade, which is great for both PvE and PvP. If you can funnel enemies and then use this grenade, you will snare a bunch of them, which makes them easier to kill. Up next, killing enemies grants 10% armor. Next, every third reload is 50% faster. That's going to add to DPS, and it comes in clutch, especially when you're using a low mag SMG. The armor kit on this build gives us 100% armor repair and then 30% bonus armor for 10 seconds. Every specialization has a skill with it that you can unlock, and as you can see is the Banshee Pulse. You can see in the gameplay that is very effective, stuns NPCs making them easier to kill. This specialization also generates 10% of total ammo capacity every 60 seconds. Which is great if you're a solo player because you'll find you'll never run out of ammo. If you're not picking it up through NPCs, then this specialization will be replenishing it for you. Up next, rate of fire increased by 5% on kill. This is just going to add to our DPS, helping us kill faster. 50% pulse resistant, that's going to help when you're in a dark zone. And that is pretty much it for the specialization. So with that said, let's move on to the build breakdown. Right guys, starting off with the primary weapon, we have the Black Market AKM, 131.5k base damage, 600 RPM and 50 in the magazine. We're using a slow rate of fire weapon because this gear set is going to majorly boost that RPM, and we're also going to gain an extra 5% RPM on kill from the gunner specialization. Looking at the attachments, we have 5% crit chance on the scope, we have 20 extra rounds in the magazine, 5% crit chance on a laser pointer, and 5% crit chance on the muzzle brake. Looking at the talent, We have In Sync. Hitting an enemy grants plus 15% skill damage for 5 seconds. Using a non-shield skill or damage an enemy with a skill grants 15% plus weapon damage for 5 seconds. Damage increases are doubled while both buffs are active at the same time. So seeing as we're going to be using the striker drone, this talent is going to be up quite often. Moving on to our secondary, we have the named Grudge SMG. We are using this for the perfect vindictive talent. Killing an enemy with a status effect applied grants you and your allies within 20 meters 18% critical hit chance and 18% critical hit damage for 20 seconds. A nice lengthy buff. When it comes to the attachments, we have 5% crit chance on each sight, 20 extra rounds in a mag, 5% crit chance on a laser pointer, and 5% crit chance on your muzzle brake. Moving on to the sidearm, and I'd recommend any pistol with the finisher talent. Swapping from this weapon within 10 seconds of killing an enemy grants 30% critical hit chance and 30% critical hit damage for 15 seconds. Now you can get the named version, which is the Orbit pistol, and this will give you even more damage at 35% crit chance and 40% critical hit damage. Now moving on to the gear pieces, guys, starting off with our Umbra Initiative mask. We have 9.7% weapon damage, 10.8% critical hit damage, and 12% critical hit damage via a mod. Onto the chest piece, we are using a chest piece for this build. We have 12.3% weapon damage, 5% crit chance, and 12% critical hit damage. We get From the Shadows, increases match stacks from the shadows from 50 to 100, and stats gained from 10 to 20. Moving on to our holster, we have 11.3% weapon damage and 10.3% critical hit damage. This is pretty much an all red crit DPS build. The backpack, Umbra Initiative backpack, 13.5% weapon damage, 4.9% crit chance, and 12% critical hit damage via a mod. Then we have Into the Light, increases match stacks from Into the Light from 50 to 100, stats gain from 10 to 20, and stack consumption from 10 to 20. Onto the gloves, we had the Contractor gloves. We're using these for the multiplicated damage from the 8% damage to armor. We have 50% weapon damage and 12% critical hit damage. Also, you guys can use an energy with this build, not just because of the Contractor's gloves, it just works really well with slow firing LMGs. The Pestilence is a great weapon to use with this build. Moving on to our knee pads, we have the Fox Pro knee pads, 15% weapon damage, 8% damage targets out cover, multiplicative damage, and then 12% critical hit damage. And that is pretty much it for the build, guys. Moving on to the skills, you can either use the shield. This is if you want to be a bit more mobile, but if you're going to stay in cover majority of the time, I would suggest using the Banshee Pulse so that if you do get run up on enemies when you're sitting in cover, you can use the Banshee Pulse to stun them all and either get out of there or kill them quickly with your Grudge SMG for that vindictive talent and gain that extra damage. We are still using the striker drone because it's just my favourite skill in the game to use. Plays as a great distraction, can pull up to 3 or 4 NPCs attention away from you, which is very important when you have such little armor like we do. The less attention and focus fire we have on us, the better. And that is pretty much it for the build, guys. I'll leave you with a stat sheet, not going to talk too much over it. Let me know what you think about this new gear set in the comment section below. I personally don't think it's as powerful as Heartbreaker, Hunter's Fury, Negotiator's Dilemma or Striker. I don't think it's trash, but just nowhere near as good as the other sets. Again, let me know what you think in the comment section below and I'll reply like I always do. Hit that like button to help us reach that 500 like goal. We're on the road to 40k and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, Mob Squad.
You want to see what I can do? Let's get a turret. I'm coming for you, motherfucker.